Everybody knows a young man that's struggling. When we go into a school, the first thing we do is we win their respect. And we do that by being honest ourselves, telling our stories about the choices we made, the consequences we suffered, the belief systems we've held about ourselves.
Boys to Men for Spring Valley Middle School. I don't think I even have the words. I well up just thinking about it. One of the common things I see in most of them, if not all of them, is the fact that there is not a male role model in their family. And so they come with a lot of heartache, they come with that anger, and that doesn't go well in a classroom. So these young men really need to have something more than what teachers can give them. And even with extra time from our deans and counselors, it wasn't having the impact the Boys to Men has had. When you put a group of men that can take the time and have the life experience they have to share truthfully and honestly with these boys and be there when they have a time of need, it makes all the difference in the world.
When they're in their pain, in their grief, in their sadness, and they're sharing, then they almost get to that point of, we're all in this together. What do we got to do to get out of this? You know, how are we going to help each other out? How are we going to support each other through this? And you know, there's just comfort in that, and that's what builds the trust, and it builds the community. The trust builds the community, and the community stands for something, and they're part of something bigger than they were when they came up.
And after becoming a part of the group and really starting to unleash some of that pent-up anger and their frustration with their lives, they truly smile, and their faces just beam. They are different kids. They really are.
I think this program really saved my life, because without Boys to Men, I didn't really have anyone to trust or talk to.
Boys to Men always have my back, no matter what happens.
I learned how to control my anger 10 times better as I did before I came here.
We all just go through the day like everything's okay, but in here we realize that it's okay to let out the anger and the tears, because we're all brothers.
I'm just talking with like a group of men who like can relate to me on my problems, and it just feels good to express how I feel.
If I had a chance to talk to every middle school administrator in this country about the one thing they could do that could make a difference, it would be Boys to Men.
Thank you, Boys to Men, for helping little boys like us go through the right path. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thanks again for being here. My name's Matt Davis, and I'm one of the founding members of Boys to Men Bay Area. I'm going to say just a little bit about our organization, what we've got going on here, and then I'm going to hand it off to Parth. He'll be your MC for the night. I see people giving me thumbs up. That either means you really like what I'm saying or be louder. One or the other. This is our first time running a Zoom event like this, so let us know if you need an adjustment to really hear what's going on. And if you can mute your audio if it's not muted, and I'll be muting you if it's not, and there will be times when you're invited to speak later on, and then we'll unmute you there. And we're also going to have a game, like a sharing game, where we'll put you into breakout rooms, so you'll be one-on-one with somebody, have a chance to connect a little bit that way. But first, let me tell you what we've been up to. Like I said, I'm one of the founding members, Boys to Men Bay Area. There are 5 of us, and we've been working for about 15 months now to form this new organization. And so I'm going to tell you a bit just like how it happened for me, how I got involved. I remember there was a day where I thought to myself, I want to volunteer. I want to mentor boys. I was familiar with the Boys to Men project from my work with Mankind Project in Austin. And I thought, well, I'll, volunteer with boys here in San Francisco. So I got in touch with a mentor of mine, Daniel Maldonado, and asked him to put me in touch. He connected me with Joe Sigurdsson, who connected me with Steve Kurtog, and Steve was, regretfully informed me that there was no program in San Francisco currently. So I was under the assumption that there was just this flourishing network of mentorship programs all over the country, and it turns out that it's actually a lot of work to start a mentorship organization. So not every city has one, but turns out that transitioning from just a bunch of men with good intentions into a functional nonprofit that's welcomed into public schools to work with their children, that's a lot of work. There's background checks, insurance forms, websites, social media, online launch events like this one, and fundraising to pay for it all. Not to mention learning how to be an effective mentor who can earn the respect of the young men we work with, hopefully have a positive impact. So at this point, I'm glad that it was so much work. We met every week for 16 months. We still are meeting every week. And the men that I've been working with this whole time, Alex Munster, William Triggs, Steve Kurtog, Parth Sabla, James Foster, and now recently we've added Mark Sutton to our team. And it's been a real journey, a real adventure. We've learned a lot about each other. The amount of emotional intelligence and just earnestness and self-respect and respect for other that I witnessed with these men is it's astonishing. I feel really honored to be part of this group, and we did it. We've got our organization started. We're on the path to becoming a nonprofit 501c3. We got an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with San Francisco Unified School District in November, and our team of 5 mentors have met every week with a group of about 15 boys at Hoover Middle School until the schools were shut down. But we're keeping the program alive, doing what we can, kind of reconfiguring based on the current reality, and staying optimistic for next school year. So our goal is to have 3 circles start up next school year. We're running with the requirement that to lead a circle, you need to sit in a circle for a school year. So men who have already mentored for a year in just a non-leadership role can start a circle, right? So we're going to have that kind of organic exponential growth that we've been hearing so much about lately. Try to turn it to good. So tonight I'm joined by our local team, Parth Sabla, who will be our MC tonight. He'll introduce our wonderful speakers. Really excited to hear what they have to say. We've got Steve Kurtog, William Triggs, Chi Lin, and Alex Munster, and myself as our mentor team, along with Mark Sutton and James Foster, who have been giving us administrative and moral support over the months. And
aloha. Hi, Michael Bonahan, President, Chairman of Voice to Men USA. Super excited about everybody on the call. And I want to thank the speakers and everyone's input in the chat rooms and the insightful questions. We really outlined the problem, what the crisis is, what we're facing. It's been out there for generations. And we've also talked about what the solutions are. And the biggest solution you can see right in front of you. Look at the faces on this screen. I just want to honor and recognize everybody from the support from Girls to Women, Women Within, Mankind Project, the White House Coalition for the White House Council on Voice to Men, and of course, Voice to Men USA. Just thank all of you for showing up and being warriors of the heart that it takes to transform the world. And in this moment of transformation that we're all in, we're all in our Corona cocoons right now, I just invite you to use this struggle as a way to metamorphosize yourself into how you can take responsibility for our youth moving forward in the future. And if you want to partner in that, I'm here, and all these men on the call, and some of these women on the call are here for you as well. So thanks again. Lots of love and much aloha, much praise. Thank you so much. And way to go, Bay Area. I'm out.
Thank you, Michael, for all your mentorship and leadership. With that, Joe, would you like to share a few words? And then we'll go to Ernie.
I think Michael did an eloquent job. It's so fantastic that we've got guys like Michael and Dave Bolduc and the communities that have built and sustained and maintained and for them and all of us are more than willing to share how we did it, and you get to stand on some shoulders, Parth, and I'm happy to offer mine, and I'm stoked for the work that's going on that you and Matt are carrying the torch for, and so bless that work. And really want to thank Warren for bringing his wisdom, and Frederick for yours. Thank you for your brilliant perspective and your gift for communicating the exact nature of the beast. So I'll just say really nice to be with you all, and I love you, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Joe. Ernie, with that, we'd like to pass the baton over to you.
Hey, so very, very impressed about what I've heard this evening. And when I was 3 years old, my father died of a heart attack, 13 days before Christmas. And I had a younger brother that was 2 years old. And I had two sisters, one that was 5 years old and one was 6 years old. So we were all very, very young. And when my father died, I also lost my mother at the same time because they didn't have any money. So my mother had to go to work. So I can really relate to the work you're all doing. And I remember when I was 10 years old, I remember my mother, in line with what Frederick just said a little earlier, I remember her saying, you're your brother's dad. So I'm 10 and he's 9, and I am supposed to be his dad. So I'm supposed to, and I'm responsible for his well-being, because if anything happens to him, I'm going to be in big trouble. So I'm so grateful for what you're all doing. I have a foundation, and my foundation had pledged to match money that you would have up to $2,500. So if you could get $2,500, I would match that. You'd have $5,000. I've decided I'm going to raise that. So I'm going to raise that from $2,500 to $5,000. So if you can get $5,000, you'll have $10,000. Yeah. So thank you very much, and it was a real honor to witness what you all had to say.
Wow, thank you so much, Ernie. I'm speechless. Just
thank you, Ernie.
All of you elders, on the call, and just your generous hearts and just your selfless love.